What is up, y'all? This is JT. I'm gonna do a real quick kind of a test on the Hercules 12-inch sliding dual bevel miter saw. One thing you'll notice right away is when you bevel 45, you gotta slide this fence all the way out. I just leave them loose because if you tighten them up while they're out here, as you can see, if I load this board in here, which is not straight by the way, but when I tighten this, see it squeezes out. Not cool. So I just leave that loose. But what I have tested so far is I've taken a piece of decking with a very slight cup to it. You can see the slight cup this way. And I've squared it up. So I cut it one way, and then I cut it this way, off of the clean cut obviously, and then I perfectly squared this board so that there is no deviation to the naked eye. Let me just line this up real quick. So as you can see, perfectly square, and it's like that on all angles. So if I line this up, I can line this up. It's hard to do. I'm going to leave a little sliver sticking out, and that little sliver continues all the way down. So this is perfectly 90 degrees, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to, first off, we got to check and see if our fence is square, which as you can see, the fence is not square. The back fence, this top fence, is not. So that's why a lot of times I like to leave them loose, because the bottom one is. The bottom one is very square when you tighten that up and you're doing bigger materials such as 4x, 6x. That's going to get in your way, and that's not cool. I'm not sure why it's like that. I just tightened it up again. Oh, now it's square. So you just got to put a square on it every time you tighten it. And it's pretty on right there, so just pay attention, put your square on before you tighten these little knobs down, because like I said, they deviate when they're out. It's because of where the tightening mechanism is, which is on the outside. They should have two at least, and also it should have micro adjustments, which I don't think it does. I'm not sure how you'd even do that. But what we got to do now is we're going to test the Bevel 90. So perfectly squared board, all four corners have been cut, and it ended up perfectly square. So what I'm going to do is actually line the very edge of this blade up with this. And what I could do really quickly, hold this down, just like that. And as you can see already, if I could focus please, this is just me holding the blade against the board, and I don't see any gaps. It's pretty square. I would say it's out maybe 100th. There's a little teeny tiny gap down at the bottom. 100th. Are you kidding me? This is out of the box. I have not adjusted it at all. I built some of this I did with just a skill saw, or my rigid circular saw. But we're gonna test it anyway. So real quick, I'm just going to run a cut on this, and I can't do it because I don't have any way to hold the camera, unless I can get my girlfriend over here. And I'm just going to line it up so that the blade is barely touching, and the back fence, or the top back fence, is loose, and I'm just holding it against the bottom. Okay, now find the square that I just lost. Oh, here it is. And let's zoom in. Just leave a tiny little sliver. So you can actually, okay, that's perfectly lined up. And yeah, it cuts in just about 1/100th. I mean, that's not even worth adjusting. That's plenty good. So maybe 100th, maybe even a 1,000th out. I don't know. It's close. Not adjusted. Everything on this saw is awesome. You don't even have to tighten any of these things. The positive stops on all of it, they are amazing. So now let's check the 45 really quick. Okay, we're gonna do the 45. Since this board has a cup in it, there's a little bit of a deviation there. So I'm gonna get my hand very dangerously close to the blade, just for your entertainment. So we're tight against the fence, we're flat on this. Nice, slow, steady cut, so there's no blade inaccuracies. Very clean cut, Diablo 44 tooth. Now let us check the 45. And I would say the 45 is, leave a little sliver there. It's pretty spot on. I'm gonna line this up flush, or flushed on this end. And we're out maybe, I don't even know if it is out, because like I said, this board has a cup in it. I don't think it's out. I think if this board didn't have a cup in it, I mean, it's flush. When I feel it with my finger, it's flush. And that's on the 45. I don't really know if I have any way to test the bevel, but let's go ahead and try. I'm gonna go ahead and film that, or not film it. I'm gonna actually do it off camera because I don't have anyone to hold it. Real quick before I make that bevel cut, and I'll probably make it to this edge. Always clean off your deck before you do any fine cutting, because otherwise the sawdust will throw off your cuts. I just wanted to show you that loose, and we're gonna pop into 40. Oh, we're going to pop into 45. I think it bevels further than 45, maybe 57, 58, and then we'll pop into 90. Not tighten any of it down. If I can get this clamp to agree with me, which the clamp actually lifts it. See, the clamp is in a bad spot, and like I said, this board has a cup to it, so it's not gonna be accurate if you do that. So we'll leave this out. I'm gonna hold it. There's no way I'm gonna get an accurate cut, because I need this to be, I need it to be flat right there. So we're just gonna be flat like this, and then, oh wow, the cup on this board is gonna screw this cut. So we'll do it like this. And as you can see, the cup is up in the middle, but at least this edge is covered. So I'm just gonna make this cut real quick. I'm Okay, I don't know how well this is gonna show, but the bevel is slightly out, and I mean slightly, just at the end right there. And that could actually be this wood. It's not cabinet wood, so it's not flat, it's not perfect, but you got this nice neat little triangle piece here. Whoops, I had a piece. And I would say that job site saw, getting stuff built, and still loose, by the way, nothing's tightened up. I like to keep it like that so that I can just adjust and adjust. So 45. It goes all the way to 60 on this side. Well, if there wasn't wood chunks in the way, it goes all the way to 60. There's still something in the way. Ah, wood chunks. Oh no, it's hitting this clamp over here. That is one thing that is very annoying. So, gotta get this clamp out. Then it will positive stop at 60. So when you have to make those very, very sharp cuts that you rarely make, but it can do it. Let's make one of those real quick. I don't have any way to measure it, but let's do it anyway. Okay, really quick, before I actually make this cut, I wanted to do a 45 bevel with a 60 degree. This saw is not capable of doing it with this fence in place, and I believe it takes this screw right here to remove it. So maybe we'll have to remove that. Not too difficult. So you just remove this screw. And also, you gotta loosen this one quite a ways. Then it'll come out. Let's see if it'll do it now. Ooh, it still hits. It will seem to make the cut, but it does hit. Well, let's try it. I don't suggest doing that. Danger. So it ended up catching, because when I lifted the blade up, it dropped it back down when I got past the thing. So no 45s is 60. Keep that in mind when buying this saw. I do believe rigid goes to 70, but I don't know if you can 45 at the same time. When you have that out, it's a good time to blow all the sawdust out. And as for the rest of it, it's a wonderful saw. I'd put this up there with the DeWalt. I don't know what the number is, like 798 or something, 805. Who freaking knows? But I used that saw on the job site all the time, and this one, pretty much the exact same saw. Like, all the adjustments are roughly similar. Like, I don't know where the switch placement is on the DeWalt, but it's very similar. So that locks in really nicely. Love the positive stops. You got one of 15, 22.5, 31.6, and then another one at 45, and then this goes to 52, but there's no positive stop, but it stops right at 52. So that is a little overview of the saw, and the stand is a whole nother ball game. Hope you enjoyed this video. And also, I made some very unique cuts on this. I adjusted this way out, and I cut dual 45s, and I had to set the depth so that it would meet my lines. And then this is about a 46-ish cut to do that. It's pretty easy. All you gotta do is set your depth, and then when you set it to 45, it's as easy as looking down the board at your lines and lining up your blade and the shadow line. It's very, very simple to do. So that's it for now. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.